the business podcast that brings you the best business lessons straight to your earbuds every single day with our daily 10-minute business lessons for the real world. I'm your host, your coach, your teacher, Omar Zenhom. I'm also the co-founder of the $100 MBA, a complete business training and community online. And today's episode is a very special guest teacher episode. Today we have Brandon Turner, the VP of Growth and Communications over at Bigger Pockets. Not only is BiggerPockets.com an incredibly successful real estate and investment website, they have a tremendously successful podcast as well on iTunes called Bigger Pockets. There are top 10 business podcasts. You really should check them out. But today, Brandon's going to talk about something a little bit different, something that you all have been thinking about, how to finally write a wicked awesome book in 100 days or less. He's going to give you his step-by-step strategy, and he's going to do it in a fun way. I love this lesson. I can't wait to share it with you. So let's get into it, guys. Let's get down to business. Today's episode of the $100 MBA Show is sponsored by Acuity Scheduling, our favorite scheduling software. Get your clients to book you easily with Acuity Scheduling. And it syncs with all your schedules like iCal, Google, Yahoo, Outlook, you name it. But don't take my word for it. Try Acuity Scheduling for free. They're giving us an amazing 45-day free trial. Just go to acuityscheduling.com/MBA. That's ACUITY scheduling.com/MBA. I've gotten to know Brandon Turner a bit in the last year, and he's a really fun guy. He's actually a really tall guy, too, just like me. I think he is the same height as me, about 6'4", 6'5". But he's also a really creative and driven person. And you're going to learn how you can be just as driven when it comes to completing your book in 100 days or less in today's lesson. He's going to give you exact steps, the strategies, what to do right now to get started. You may want to listen to this episode more than once, and you may want to take some notes. If you have a book that you've been wanting to write for some time now, whether that's a short ebook or a book you want to put on Amazon or a traditionally published book, this lesson will help you make it happen. Brandon's got a lot to cover, so I'm going to let him get started. So take it away, Brandon.
Hey everyone, I am Brandon. Thank you for joining me today. And today I'm going to be teaching you about how to write a wicked awesome book in just 100 days. So let's get down to business. You know, it's funny because writing a book is on like everybody's bucket list, right? Alongside with like go to the moon or walk through Times Square naked. Okay, maybe that's just my bucket list. But my guess is somewhere on yours, you want to write a book. Am I right? Okay, and I know it generally feels like a huge task. Probably pretty similar to a moon landing. Well, my name is Brandon, and I just finished publishing my second book on the topic of real estate investing. Total length of 120,000 words and 400 pages. And today I want to give you a 4-step process on exactly how I was able to do that and how I did it in exactly 100 days. So, all right, step number 1 is the most important part. So listen closely. And seriously, you've got to commit. Now, I know you were hoping for something a lot more actionable maybe. And trust me, we are going to get to the actionable stuff, But first, we got to nail this down. Like I said earlier, everybody wants to write a book. I mean, your mom probably wants to write a book, but your mom isn't going to write a book, and neither are you unless you commit to this. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're saying, Brandon, I already know I want to write a book. No, not good enough. Look, I want to have six-pack abs. I want to have chiseled pecs, right? I want to look ravishing in a mankini. But let's be honest, people, I've not really committed to that. I want it, but what am I doing other than talking about it? Now, one of my all-time favorite quotes comes from the Michael Jordan. And he's the guy from Space Jam who saved Bugs Bunny with Bill Murray. And I think he also played some kind of athletic competition back in the day, but I'm a nerd, so I don't know a whole lot about that. But what I do know is this quote, and that is, some people want it to happen, some wish it would happen, and others make it happen. It's pretty good, right? All right, it's like, it's not enough to just want something or to wish something. If I wanted six-pack abs so hard you could get spaghetti off them, that's great. But if I don't set up a daily routine and change my lifestyle to accomplish that goal, then what the hell am I really doing? Nothing, right? So I want you right now to take out a piece of paper. We're getting actionable now. I want you to take out a piece of paper, and you might be driving, I know, but we just talked about commitment, right? So you're kind of committed now. Good, you pulled over? Good, now write this down. Grab that piece of paper, write down. I will be publishing my book on colon. Now, don't actually write a colon, put a colon, little boop, boop, dot things. All right, now write the colon and write, I want you to figure out, well, first of all, I want you guys to figure out what day exactly is 100 days from today. Now, I know Omar never told you you're going to be doing calculus today, but you know what? This is what you got. So write down that date, 100 days from today. And now you've got that paper that says, I will be publishing my book on March 1st or whatever, right? Write down that date. Now take a picture of those words you just wrote down, and I want you to upload it to your Facebook page right now. Good. Before you're thinking about it, just upload it to your Facebook page, pause this, come back, whatever. I want all your family and friends to see your commitment. That's how serious I'm about committing. All right, moving on. Let's go to step number 2. You need an accountability buddy. Now, preferably somebody who's already writing a book. Maybe somebody, in your Facebook buddies or whatever. Maybe somebody in an online group if you need to go that route. There's a lot of people out there that want to write a book like we talked about. All right, so go to Google Docs now and go make a spreadsheet. I actually did this. It worked amazing. On that spreadsheet, you'll need 4 columns. At the top of column 1, you'll need to write the word date. Column 2, at the top, write your name. Column 3, write date. And column 4, write your accountability partner's name. Now, I want you to go to the date column and write every single date for the next 100 days. So row 1 will have today's date. Row 2 will have tomorrow's date. Row 3 will have the next day, and so on. Now, share that document with your accountability buddy because this is how you're going to track your daily process. But more on that in a minute when we get to that step 4. But first, let's talk about step 3. And that is you got to outline like your life depends on it. All right, I know everybody knows this one, right? But I want you to go deeper. I want you to think of an outline kind of like a MapQuest map. Yeah, you remember those back in the day before smartphones and you wanted to go to that sweet party out in the woods, but you didn't know how to get there. And so you hopped on your mom's computer, printed off like 17 pages of step-by-step directions from MapQuest. Yes, I've been there, and that is your outline. Because here's the secret. The more thorough your outline is, the easier your book will be to write. So to use the MapQuest analogy a little more, let's, kill all the detours, you're hitting less dead ends, and you're getting to the party faster by outlining correctly. Cool? All right, so on day 0 of my book launch, I sat down with my wife at Starbucks and enjoyed the usual, a tall 180-degree non-fat peppermint hot chocolate with whipped cream and no mocha drizzle, because, yeah, I'm that guy. And my wife and I made a pact. We said, we will not leave this store today until our outline is done. Now, I'm not just talking about like, here's what chapter 1 is called and here's what chapter 2 is called. That's weak. I'm talking about the chapters, subchapters, and a summary of the content in each of those subchapters. The more detail, the better. Because when you outline in detail, pretty much all you have to do when you're writing is just fill in the blank. Most of the time, when people claim to have writer's block, what that really means is, I don't know what to write about today because they didn't plan good enough. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to divide your book into 100 subchapters. Now, I don't care if that means 10 chapters with 10 subchapters in each, or 20 chapters with 5 subchapters in each, or whatever math you want to use. The point is, divide your book into 100 subsections and write a short blurb about what that subsection is. Now, furthermore, I want you to think about how many words you want your book to be. Typical books are 60 to 100,000 words, so pick a number in there somewhere and then divide that by 100. And now you know exactly how long each subchapter is going to be. And you have a daily minimum. For example, I wanted my book to be 100,000 words because I'm an overachiever. So I said to myself, Brandon, you need to write 1,000 words per day for the next 100 days. So I divided my book into 100 subsections, and now I had a roadmap to follow precisely. When you outline this way, guys, on your 100-day journey, all you need to do then is sit down and write exactly what you already determined you were going to write about. It's kind of having that plan for getting those 6-pack abs. You know exactly the 7 exercises you're going to do today, all the sit-ups and crunches and whatever. And so you just do them because you know exactly what you're going to do. There's no walking around waiting, looking at yourself in the mirror at the gym. You do them and you're on your way. Okay, so at this point, if you've committed and if you found that accountability partner and if you've outlined your book, the rest of this process is going to be so stupid simple. I'm totally serious. The hard part is over. The rest will take more time maybe, but it's going to be far easier. So let's get to that. Step number 4 is to simply write every single day. Now, I don't care if it's your birthday. I don't care if you have Ebola. I don't care. You have a minimum number of words to write, and you will not fall asleep at night until you've written them and recorded your word count in your accountability spreadsheet. It will not take too many 3 a.m. writing sessions before you wise up and start getting your writing done earlier in the day. In fact, I'd actually recommend, and this is what I did, getting up 90 minutes earlier every day for those 100 days. And I know I can hear all the whiny voices right now saying, 90 minutes earlier, I don't want to do that. But you know what? You committed. We already talked about this. So maybe spend a little bit less time Netflix and chilling and, go to bed a little earlier, or maybe just be slightly sleep deprived for a few months, right? It's only 100 days. And being an author is going to change your life, right? Besides, again, you've committed, no backing out now. Start writing every day. Now, if the thought overwhelms you of writing every single day, I want to give you guys 2 tips that help me a ton when writing my 100 or my 1,000 words a day. First, tip 1, I stopped thinking of it as a book. I was simply writing a blog post. Easy. I do that all the time, so it was no different. Sometimes the most challenging things about writing a book is just feeling overwhelmed. So break it up into little tiny chunks and think of it as a blog post and just write 1 blog post every day. And the second tip, this is cool. Ask yourself, who am I writing this for? Now, I don't mean what kind of person. I mean specifically, who? On your Facebook wall, go to your Facebook feed or whatever and look at one of your friends and figure out who is your ideal reader. Who on your Facebook group or friends or whatever is the exact person that you wish would read your book and that you think would love your book. All right, so now you have that person in mind. For me, it was a guy named Dale, who was a brand new owner of a duplex, and he had no idea what he was doing. Didn't know how to manage tenants or build wealth or make a plan to quit his job through the cash flow. He didn't know any of that stuff. All he knew was he kind of liked real estate, and he just bought a duplex. So I wanted to help him out, right? So I wrote that book for him, and he's exactly who I'm writing it for. So now that you know who you're going to write it for, I want you to do this. It's going to sound a little weird. We're going to a little awkward here, but it's okay. I want you guys to go to their Facebook page, go to their picture, find a good full-size picture of their face, and print it out on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. Seriously, print it out on a computer, print it out, and hang that on your wall. Very few people are going to actually do this, but I want you to be the guy that does that because you committed to this, right? So do it. And then write your 1,000 words a day to them. Pretend they're sitting there in the room with you. You're simply teaching them something or you're telling them a story every day. That's it. And anytime you get stuck or you can't write, look at their picture and just start talking to them, whether it's out loud or on your paper. I don't care. And I know that sounds weird and a little creepy maybe, but I promise you this is going to make your own writing 1,000 times easier. Trust me on that. All right, so a quick recap. If you want to write a book in the next 100 days, you got to do the following. A, commit. B, find an accountability partner. C, outline like crazy. And D, write daily with no excuses. All right, guys, this was Brandon Turner with BiggerPockets.com. If you want to continue learning more about me or to see the amazing landing page that we set up to sell the book, visit BiggerPockets.com/rental book, or just come hang out with me on Twitter at Brandon@BP. Again, this is at Brandon@BP. Thanks again for joining me today.
Today's episode of the $100 MBA Show is sponsored by Plated. Guys, as entrepreneurs, time is of the essence, and cooking is one of those things that takes a lot of time if you're not prepared. Deciding what to cook and how to cook it takes a lot of time, so let Plated take care of it. Let me show you how Plated makes cooking meals easy and fun with no meal planning time, or shopping for that matter. Just go to plated.com/MBA now, and you'll get a fantastic offer on your first Plated delivery. You're then going to choose from exciting recipes that change weekly, designed to fit a wide range of tastes and preferences. Next, you're going to get a hand-packed, insulated box with fresh produce, antibiotic-free meats, everything you need to cook a delicious dinner or meal, delivered straight to your door. It's all pre-measured, so there's no food that goes to waste. Just follow the step-by-step recipe cards and get ready to be impressed and impress others. You don't need to be a pro to make amazing meals. Prepare chef-quality dinners right at home in a few simple steps. And get this, guys, if you hurry on over to plated.com/MBA now, you'll get a free dinner for 2 with your first delivery. Yep, free dinner for 2 with your first Plated box. Go to plated.com/MBA for terms and details. It's plated.com/MBA. Brandon Turner is the man. I mean, that was an amazing lesson. I especially loved a couple of points that he made. One about committing to writing that book. Something that we talk about all the time on the show. Another thing we talk about on the show a lot is a production schedule and planning ahead. You saw how he told you how to plan ahead so you know what you're going to be writing about before you actually write. This helps you not have any writer's block and just gets you to do what you need to do. Half the work is decision making. So if you do the decision making beforehand, before when you actually have to do it, it makes it a whole lot easier to do it. If you loved Brandon Turner's lesson, give him some love on Twitter at Brandon, BRANDON8BP. Guys, thank you so much for listening to the $100 MBA Show. Make sure you hit the subscribe button to get all our episodes automatically right on your device. That's it for me today, guys. But before I go, I want to leave you with this. There is a huge sense of accomplishment and a huge power when you accomplish a mini goal like this that takes about 100 days. This is not something that's going to take you years. This is a few months. But getting serious about a project like this and getting it done is going to make you feel incredible. It's going to prove to yourself that you can actually get it done. You're an author now. And now you have some great content to share with the world. There are people that make a very healthy living just being a great author. Not only because they make a profit on their books, but because they get invited to speak on stage about the topic they're an expert at. So keep that in mind. This could be the start of something amazing. All right, guys, I'll check you in tomorrow's episode.